What's up, everybody? It's Jordan, aka Whodey Nation News, and welcome to the 25th episode of the Whodey Nation podcast. As always, I have Blake with me, and today we're going to be discussing if the Bengals should sign Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon is a free agent next season, and he's arguably the Bengals' best player on their entire roster. And we're going to be talking about if they should extend him and what the contract will look like. So, Blake, what do you think the Bengals should do with Joe Mixon?
I think they should extend them, and want to keep it as team-friendly as possible. We've seen past years with like David Johnson, Todd Gurley, these contracts have been down for games. You don't really want to overpay for it. I'm personally not a big fan of extending or giving big deals to running backs. I think this is somewhat of a different situation with Joe Mixon for the Bengals. I think he brings more to the table than like guys like Gurley and Johnson. And I'd like to see him kind of play more of a role like Christian McCaffrey does. He touches a lot of balls. He's more involved. I think he can do that. He should be looking at his offense with Joe Burrow. I think I'd like to see him continue to be on this roster and see him develop with his offense. And I think if they get him in a reasonable deal, I think that'd be just perfect for Cincinnati. He's just really big in the locker room. He's just a great team guy, and I think he's around.
Yeah, I completely agree. The Bengals have to sign Mixon. There's no, to me, it's not really even a question. If somebody does not want the Bengals to re-sign Mixon, they're crazy. Mixon he's easily a top 10 running back. You could debate he's top 5. 5, 6, 7, and 8 to me are debatable. I would put him as a top 7, top 8 running back. He's rushed for nearly 3,000 yards in 3 seasons. And you look at us the past couple of years, we've not been good. Last year, we only won 2 games. And, our offensive line the past couple of years has not been good. I think it was around the 30th ranked offensive line last season for the run. And, for him to get 1,000 yards last season, that's really impressive. Back-to-back with 1,000 yards seasons. In 2018, he led the AFC in rushing. He's the only running back to have over 500 carries since 2017, and it's not fumbled. He's not fumbled his whole career, and he's had nearly 700 carries. That's absolutely crazy, and it just goes to show how reliable Mixon is. The last 8 games of the season last year, he rushed for over 100 yards. And something else I was looking at, I thought was really interesting. Runs of at least 10 yards since 2017. Ezekiel Elliott is first, and Elliott's played 56 games. He started in every one of those games. He has 46 carries of at least 10 yards. Mixon has played 44 games, and he's only started in 35 of those games, and he has 43 carries of at least 10 rushing yards or more. So he only has 3 carries less of 10 yards or more, with 21 less starts. And you look how sucky the Bengals' offensive line is. And you look at Elliott, who the Cowboys have had the best offensive line for the past several years, while the Bengals have had one of the worst. That stat to me just shows how valuable Mixon is to our team and how good he actually is. Like you mentioned, David Johnson, Le'Veon Bell, Gurley, you don't want to overpay him. I think it was reported either today or yesterday, he wants to be in the top 8 most paid running backs. Number 1 is McCaffrey, making 16, and then the 8th running back is Saquon Barkley, making 7.8. Derrick Henry recently signed a contract for 12.5 a season. I would like for us to something similar to that, but he should definitely be paid top 8 money, considering Le'Veon Bell is getting 13 and David Johnson's getting 13. So, what would you have Mixon's contract be? Like, what's something you would like for it to look like?
Let's think around something around $9 million. I think that everyone would be happy there. Yeah, Bengals really aren't overpaying, but Mixon's still at the top of my head, I don't know how much it pays, but it's at least a couple million. You kind of trade Young Williams into that role, with Giovanni Bernard, and then you can give Ronnie Anderson some more snaps as a power back. I think saving that money from Giovanni Bernard and putting it towards Joe Mixon, I think that makes a lot of sense for the Bengals.
Yeah, that's something that I've kind of thought about too. Is cutting Bernard to have room for Mixon. I would love. I don't want to overpay him because, like I mentioned, Bell's getting 13. Bell's not a top 10 running back. David Johnson's getting 13. He's not a top 15 running back. And if you actually, I mean, I don't know. Depending how you look at it, he may not be a top 20 running back. And I don't want to overpay him because then look at Gurley with his knees and he was overpaid. It's like you want to overpay a running back like Mixon because there's not many talented running backs like him, but you don't want to overpay him. Yeah, I think cutting Bernard is a possibility to have room for Mixon, and if you can get a contract for Mixon, to me, I will absolutely love either 4 years for 36 or about 4 for 40 in that range, or if you want to do a shorter deal, maybe 3 for 27 or 3 for 30. I don't really want to pay him more than 10 million because if you underpay him a little bit, that money, instead of paying a couple extra million for Mixon, you can use that potentially for Green next season, or if the Bengals want to surprise fans and if Ross would have a breakout season, sign Ross. That's not really likely, but that's just an example of what they can do with their money.
Yeah, I think I don't really think the Bengals are in a tough situation with their money. You definitely kind of want to be conservative with it in the rebuild because they are in a rebuild, and you don't want to lose track of. You don't want to overpay for players that are not going to either stick around or maybe if they get injuries because you want to have that money available for when inevitably I believe the Bengals are going to be competing with the roster they have. I think it's going to take some time. You want to have that money around for when you are a good team. You can spend money on players to make your team even that much better. So this deal, if they get it done with Joe Mixon, it's going to be a huge deal for the future of this franchise. And I think that if they get it at a reasonable price, I think that's going to be perfect for the Bengals to get more room to, in later years, to add to their roster and upgrade what they need to upgrade.
Yeah, I completely agree. Mixon, I mean, up until Burrow was drafted, he's the heart and soul of this team. He's a fan favorite. He's the best, arguably the best player in offense, and you can make a case for the best player on our team right now. He's a must re-sign, and we have to re-sign him. So, where can some of our listeners follow you on social media?
You can find me at bjewel43 underscore on Twitter and at bjewel43 on Instagram, and use Twitter for Bengals stuff.
Make sure to follow Blake on Twitter and Instagram. Follow me, Whodey Nation underscore news on Instagram, and the same thing on Twitter. Make sure to go to our YouTube channel, the Whodey Nation podcast. Subscribe there and listen to our recent episodes. We would greatly appreciate it. And that about does it for this episode. And until next time, Whodey.